During the terrifying wildfires in Hawaii, many people were forced into the ocean. That was their best effort to get to safety, but that did not mark the end of the danger. Even the water in some places was on fire. One Lahaina boat captain, though, named Chrissy Lovitt, did manage to rescue people while her marina caught fire all around her. She shared her story with our Lilia Luciano.
Oh, I was in the harbor. The winds were accelerating 30, 40, 50, 60. I personally thought they were about 70 knots, and now I'm reading that they were over 80 miles per hour. So I came back down with Emma, my wife, just to secure the boat. You know, we saw a tiny bit of smoke up on the mountain. 45 minutes later, it was in the harbor, and we were just trying to get as many people out as possible.
It literally looks like we're in hell.
I know a couple mariners, they could not get their boat out of the harbor with these 80-mile-an-hour winds. The winds would have overpowered their vessels. So the only option was to get, I stole a skiff that didn't belong to me, but to get them on that skiff and get them out of the harbor.
I think people are so shocked to see where this happened and look at the ocean being there, and just to think about the concept of the ocean on fire.
Our skiff the motor did die. We were getting blown out to sea. Later on, when we heard that there were people in the water, we kind of sat down, weighed the pros and cons, and decided with this unreliable motor, we were going to take the chance and we're going to go in and we're going to look for people. It was so toxic when we went in there. It was so hot. And there was just this layer of ash and fuel, and we were being bombed by these big fire embers. I mean, there were fire tornadoes. And so we saw this popular surf spot where kids surf, and I can't make this up.
Look, the waves are on fire.
The wave was on fire. So the water was on fire where these people were trying to take shelter.
How many people were you able to save that day?
That's definitely like a guilt and a stress that I'm living with. We did connect with a Coast Guard vessel, but you have to understand, it's smoky, it's windy. We pulled 2 children out of the water. That was all we could find, physically find. And then as far as getting people out of the harbor, it was 6 or 7 or 8, something like that.
You are truly a hero, and there's no part of me that can possibly comprehend what you went through that night.
People have it so much worse than me, and just pray for them. There's so much. I lost 1 boat. I lost 3 boats and a couple of trucks, but that compares to nothing to the people that have lost their homes and their employment. We've all lost our employment. I don't know really what to look forward to, in the future. Just, it's good to be supported by the community, and I'm happy to be there supporting them as well.
Boy, it's one of those stories. Oprah said to me that the boat people had said that the fire had come and it landed on some of the boats and the boats exploded. When you said, well, how does the water catch fire? It's the fuel that's running from the boats, the diesel and the gasoline. Yeah. And then that catches fire. So even getting in the water isn't a safe place.
Yeah.
It was a horrible, horrible scene.
It's amazing how far the embers can fly.
Exactly.
And the soot can also sit on the surface of the water, and that can be a bed for additional fires. And there were dozens of people there taking shelter for hours and hours and hours.
And her ability to just, that instinct to kick in and help,
Yeah.
knowing you're in such danger. I've never been in a situation like that, but I've heard you just naturally want to go in and save lives. But
that's what struck out to me too, Jerika, about that woman. As bad as it is for her, she keeps saying other people have it worse. That's what I'm finding about everybody in Hawaii. Yes, ours is bad, but they have it worse, and we need to help them.
Perspective.
Still, perspective is right. The story will continue for sure.